Megan Hicks of I Run Far, and I'm with Tom Evans. He's the third place finisher of the 2018 Trail World Championships. It's early morning on Sunday. Has it sunk in that you podiumed at this race yesterday?
No, not at all. It's incredibly surreal. I sort of tried to run through the race last night in my mind and it's all just a bit of a blur. I'm just so happy.
It's also pretty early in the morning still, and the world is wanting to know, have you had a flat white coffee yet today?
Sadly not.
Okay.
I'm waiting. I've been assured there's a good cafe near the presentation later, so I'm saving it, and it's going to be worth it, I promise.
So you said before the race in our interview that you were planning on going hard, and you were going to try to stick it, and you knew that very well it might not work out. So I wasn't surprised when you were near the lead at the start of the race yesterday. Were you surprised, or were you doing what you wanted?
I had a bit of a shocker at the very start of the race. I was doing some drills and doing some stretches and ended up, I think I was the last person to cross the line. So probably about 100, started with like 100 meters behind.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is not the, can't recommend that.
Okay.
But might have got a Strava segment on the track, who knows. And yeah, so the plan was to go out to start hard. Like, I'm better on the flatter stuff, so I knew that the first half of the race would suit me slightly better. And then there were a couple of flatter sections in the course that I was going to work hard at, and then just try and hold my own on the climbs. And yeah, it went well. Zach had a really, really strong sort of first 60k, and thought at the beginning I was like, right, let's stay with it. And then I was wearing a heart rate monitor, and I was just going a little bit too hard, and I was like, right, still got a long way, sort of back down slightly.
Okay.
And that was, for me, that was definitely the right decision. You've got to race your own race, and you be aware of what other people are doing, but you've got to run your own race. And yeah, like we said earlier, by the end of the race, it just felt like I was hardly moving at all. Legs just didn't want to go. Thankfully, it was sort of a 4 or 5k downhill at the end, so you can just use gravity. But no, it was, yeah, the race went to plan, sort of with speeds and efforts. My nutrition was terrible. I just couldn't eat. But I'd done a lot of heat chamber preparation with St Mary's University in Twickenham.
Got it in again.
Good plug.
Yeah.
Thanks, St Mary's. And that,
really, you're well trained at dropping the.
And that helped so much. It didn't get crazy hot, but it was hot for maybe sort of half an hour to an hour, and it just helped so much.
I do want to ask about the humidity. Like, it's a Mediterranean climate here, and it, you know, in the days pre-race was fairly humid, but then yesterday it seemed there was a weather system of sorts, and there was some fog and even higher humidity. Did that, I mean, you'd trained here before. Did humidity factor into people's races, you think?
Yeah, I think it probably did. People just underestimated how much harder it is to race in there. Like, I was lucky racing in Costa Rica at the beginning of the year with Hayden.
All the humidity.
With all the humidity, so kind of knew if it was going to be humid, knew what to expect. And I know, I've raced in the desert, I've raced in the jungle, like I know what happens to my body when it starts getting hot, and I can recognise the signs, and then I can back off if it's a little bit too much. So yeah, I think just for me, having that little bit of experience racing in those different environments, yeah, really played into my hands.
Early in the race, it seemed like Zach Miller was setting the pace, but there were some other guys sort of coming and going and hanging around. Is that actually what was happening? Zach was putting in the effort and people were trying to match it, or?
Yeah, I think so. He's a great runner, and he was definitely one of the favourites going into the race, sort of from non-Europeans or non-Spanish. And yeah, he's got a great style of racing in that respect so much. Just go out hard, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. But if you don't try, you don't know. So it was great that he was out there setting the pace, and if there was someone who was going to beat the great Luis Alberto, it was going to be following that race plan, going out hard and just getting Luis to chase and chase and chase. And I think as soon as Luis Alberto gets you in his sights, he's going past you.
Like a machine.
Yeah, it was incredible to see him. Yeah, it was real. I have so much. He's one of my role models I look up to, and sort of getting to run with him was incredible.
Can you talk a little bit about the middle part of the race, which was the most dynamic part from the men's race, and that some of the early leaders were starting to slide back and men were also moving forward, like the transition between lower country and higher country?
Yeah, I think it just, the people with sort of certain strengths, sort of faster, sort of flatter runners had worked hard at the beginning, and then as soon as it got into the hills, they found it sort of a little bit harder. And then the guys who are better on the ups and the downs, that's when they just had to be in the race at that point, and then play on their strengths. So yeah, it was really interesting sort of seeing people coming and going, and I just sort of just tried to keep my place sort of in and around, sort of contending for a medal. And I knew that there were certain sort of flattish and slightly downhill sections that I was going to work hard on, which I did, and that sort of allowed me to stay in the game. And then, yeah, like I said earlier, to just try and hold on the ups, and then with that final sort of 4.5, 5K downhill, that didn't feel like 4 or 5K, it felt like 45K. And then I knew where I was. I'd done the last bit of the course quite a lot, because when I got to it in the race, I knew that I didn't want to have to focus on the ground. I just wanted to know where I was and know where I can push, and just run it through, just like I've done this in training, like it's easy. And then the course changed ever so slightly. So
oh, really?
Yeah, the course is a little bit different. Only by, so added on about a kilometre.
Longer?
Kilometre longer, yeah.
Okay.
But all downhill, so it didn't really matter. But I knew roughly where I was, so it was all right.
At the end?
At the end,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, so last, probably from like, with 6K to go, it changed slightly. And just added on sort of a little loop. But what was good, sort of, my legs felt sort of okay at that stage, so I was like, well, I don't know who's behind me, I don't know how far they are, but I can't see them, so hopefully they're not going to gain.
Keep going.
Yeah, literally just keep going, and then you get to where you know you are, and you sort of hear the crowds. And the support yesterday was just amazing. In all sorts of places, sort of in all the small towns, it was incredible. And then even at sort of points on the trail, there were sort of, whether there were people out hiking or whatever, they'd sort of stop and cheer you along. And then the finish was just incredible. Loads of people from the other races sort of hung around to watch us finish, which was incredibly special. And sort of crossing the line with the GB flag was just a lot of hard work in sort of training and in racing, a lot of sacrifices. Sort of all makes it worth it. Great transition.
Mention of the Team GB flag. Team GB had a heck of a day.
Yeah, the guys did incredibly well. We're really fortunate in the UK. We're sort of really starting to emerge as a good sort of ultra running contending country, which is great, and that people are pushing each other the whole time. And yeah, we managed to pull a second. And I think sort of in the iRun Far review before, it'll probably be sort of Spain and France as 1 and 2, and then the US and the UK for 3 and 4. And yeah, we had, the guys just did so well. And I'm incredibly fortunate to be part of such a great team, such a strong team. But then also we're all really close. The UK is not a big country, and the furthest away you live is like 6-hour drive, which for us is, we think that's a very long way. Like, I hate driving for anything more. Like an hour in the car, that's mean. So you see each other at sort of local races and things, which is so nice. And so we all know each other, we're all really close, and there's that real team spirit in the GB camp, which is amazing. And so long may it continue and to keep getting stronger, so we can really start to compete at the World Championships and sort of try and get a gold.
I don't think that you can say really start to compete at the World Championships. You guys competed just fine yesterday.
Yeah, it's incredible what the guys did. But it's not just the guys running. It's sort of the friends and family who've supported in the training. It's sort of the coaches and the managers that have come out here with us, and all the support from them. Which then sort of the easy job is just doing the running. Well, it's not that easy. I didn't find it easy. But we're incredibly lucky, and we've got some British Athletics have been superb in supporting us. And yeah, so bring on next year.
Last question. Your runs up until this weekend have been strong runs, but this run, I think your performance is on another level. What's going on in your head right now? Like, has it sunk in? Like, I just finished on the podium at the Trail World Championships. What do you want to do next?
I want a flat white.
Right?
That's the next.
Or maybe like three of them.
Or three.
Because I also hear that you weaned yourself off of caffeine ahead of the race. So
yeah, I haven't had a coffee for 3 weeks now.
I can see your focus and drive.
I'm so excited.
You're going to apply it now to coffee.
Yeah, so first things first, coffee. Take a bit of time to recover, reflect on the race. And then my sort of next big race for this year is CCC.
Okay,
Again, and everything is sort of aiming, everything that I do in the build up now is doing that. I'm actually racing in the long mountain world championships in 6 weeks in Poland for GB again. And that's the first time I've ever run that sort of distance. So it'll be really interesting sort of seeing how the training goes for that. But yeah, I think I've got a couple of questions to answer. And sort of sit down with my coach, Alison Benton, and just see where the future goes. But it's exciting. Like I said, this is my third mountain race. So yeah, really looking forward to getting some more experience and sort of seeing what I can do.
Well, congratulations on your bronze medal performance at the Trail World Championships. And I guess see you at CCC.
Perfect. See you at CCC. Thanks very much, Megan.
Well done.
Thank you.